Hello and welcome to our very first Divi feature update live for 2020. I'm excited today to talk about our latest feature, but before I do that, please let me know if you can hear me and see me loud and clear on our channels. We are live streaming both on Facebook and also on YouTube. All right, so can you hear me loud and clear? Okay, I just got a notice here. Right, so we are live on Facebook too. Welcome everyone to 2020. I'm really excited to talk about our latest feature, which is the Divi Layout Block. Now, you may be thinking, Layout Block? Why are we talking about blocks? And if we're dealing with Divi? Well, I'll be explaining this because this is our integration with Gutenberg. But before I do that, I would like to welcome everyone that's joining us. We have Uncle Social here. Good to see you. Louise, Agante, Rajan, Fahad, Ahmed. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Right, who have I left out? Ahmed, good to see you too. So thank you very much for tuning in. And you know what? We are going to be covering this latest feature. I'll be showing you how to use it. And also, if you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comments box and I will do my best to respond to those questions. Right. We also have MT that has just joined us. Craig, Curious Cheaton, good to see you. Awesome. Right. Let me see what's happening here on Facebook. So on Facebook, we have Karashan Chaudhry saying hi. Good to see you. Good to see you all. Right. Let's dive into our latest feature. Now, before I go into this, I'd just like to let you know that there's also a full article that covers this Divi Layout Block feature. So the link to that is in the video description below. Go ahead and check it out. All right. So this layout block, as I mentioned before, you may be thinking, why do we need to talk about blocks if you're working with Divi? Now, this feature is for those of you that want to use Gutenberg as their main theme, right? But you also want the flexibility of using Divi for the layouts and also for the modules. So I'm going to show you how this actually works together, because there are some people out there who prefer using Gutenberg and then also using, Divi with this case right here. But before, there wasn't really an option. If you're either using Gutenberg, that's it, you're just using Gutenberg, or you just use Divi. So this was the situation before this update. So either you use Gutenberg or you use Divi, and Divi just takes over everything, and Gutenberg pretty much just becomes your main builder. So now with this layout, if you're someone that wants to use Gutenberg, fine. You can actually use Gutenberg and also Divi as a layout block inside Gutenberg. So this is what I'm going to be showing you today. Now, in order for you to actually use this latest feature, you need to update to Divi 4.1. 4.1. So that's the latest one. Just go into your website. In fact, let me show you quickly here. If you go to your admin dashboard, all you have to do is to click here where it says update, and then this will refresh. Now, if you haven't updated it, you'll see a notification here saying you need to update to the latest version. All right, so let me show you how this works. So first of all, once you've installed it, once you've updated the Divi plugin, the Divi theme, this definitely will work inside of your pages. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So let's say you want to create a brand new post. So I'm going to come over here, click on add new. So let's just call this new post. Can't spell in 2020. Okay, here we go. New post. So before, we could just go into use Divi Builder and then we start designing this post in the Divi Builder. But now if we go to use default editor, this will take us into the Gutenberg editor. As you can see here, we don't have anything to do with Divi right here. This is all Gutenberg. So this is where you can add, things like a paragraph. In fact, let me just grab some text here from Lorem Ipsum and then just paste it here. So let's say this is my text block, right? And let's say I need to add something else here. This could be maybe audio, it could be an image, and so on. But now, when we click here on this plus button to add a block, you notice that we have Divi Layout in here. Now, this is what we didn't have before. So if you click here on Divi Layout, notice that we can actually load from the library just from this block right here. So let's create a new layout. So I'm going to come over here, build new layout. Right, so you can actually insert a pre-made layout into this design, or you can build from scratch. Now let's go ahead and build from scratch. So over here, I'm just going to add a single column. Now, right, what can we use here? So let's go with the blurb. Okay, there we go. So let's just quickly customize this. So let's add an icon here. So this is just a quick design. So let's go with this icon right here. So you can see that's our design. I can even go ahead and add a background color to this. So let's just add a color here so that we can see what we're doing. So pretty much I'm just designing this as I would with the Divi Builder, but inside Gutenberg. So if I come over here to design, I can go into spacing and I can give this a bit of padding around it like that. If I needed to, I can also go into animations here, do some animations, hover effects, and all that stuff. So let's do one more thing here. Let's go to the border and add some rounded corners here. So as you can see, I'm actually working here as I would with Divi as normal. This text here is a bit small. Let me just increase the size of this. Okay, there we go. Right, and I'm going to save. And then if I save one more time, you notice that my design now is actually in the Gutenberg editor. All right, so let's publish this and take a look at this. I'm going to publish this. And then I'm going to view the post in a new tab. Okay, there we go. So now this is a plain Gutenberg post and it has some Divi elements in there. So this is what we mean by the integration between Divi and Gutenberg. Okay, so let's come back over here. I want to show you some other items you can customize here as well. So if I come over here to the document, in fact, to the block, sorry, to the document, there's a few things I also can do here. I can change the page layout, change this to no sidebar. If I need to add a sidebar, I can add it as well. And if I now update this and take a look at it, there we go. So now we have no sidebars. Great. So this is how you use the Gutenberg layout, the Divi Layout Block inside of Gutenberg. So the cases where you may want to use this is, let's say you've got a situation where your whole website pretty much uses Gutenberg and you'd like the flexibility of using Divi. So as you know, with Divi, now I'm getting confused between the blocks and the modules. The Divi modules are more advanced than the actual blocks that we have in Gutenberg. There's less flexibility. You can't really customize them. So you're better off using the Divi Layout Block inside if you want to customize all your designs inside of the Gutenberg editor. Okay, so now that we've done it this way, you notice that if you use the Divi Builder, it will design your headers and footers. But let's say you're in a situation where you just want the pure bare bones WordPress, just like the basic one, bare bones, nothing else added to it. But you want to use the Divi Layout Block just to customize a few things on the page. Now, there's also another way that we can do this. Now, for those of you that didn't know, actually, Divi has a plugin. It's called the Divi Builder plugin. So you can actually use the plugin and use this feature inside of WordPress. So let me show you how that works. So over here, in fact, let me just close this. Now over here, I have another install. Now this install here, if I come over here to themes, you'll notice that this is just the default WordPress theme. Okay. This does not have Divi. I mean, I'm just pretty much using the default WordPress theme. So we can actually use Divi inside of this WordPress theme. And this is what I'm going to show you in a moment. But before I continue, I just want to take a quick look here at the comments. Rami says this is good for handing websites over to clients with Gutenberg as their workspace. Yes, that's absolutely true. This is how you can actually use this. So let's say you have a client that uses Gutenberg, you can actually add this feature in there, and it doesn't really have to take away from all the knowledge they have accumulated to use with Gutenberg. This is just an addition to what they have already. All right, so Fahad says, where is Divi carousel module? I'm unable to find it in Divi. Fahad, this is the Divi feature update live. If I get some time, I will take a look at that. But today we're talking about the Divi Layout Block. This is the latest feature that we're discussing today. Right. Elise says, shout out to me as well. Welcome, Elise, to the show. Right. Let's have a look here. I'm looking for some questions. Okay, surprising. No questions so far. Let's take a look over here on Facebook. No questions so far. Does that mean that everyone is okay with this feature and they love it? In fact, you know what? Let's take a look and see if you love this feature. So if you love this brand new feature, please give me a 1 in the comments box below. If you don't like it, give me a 2, and then please let us know why you don't like it. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do next while you're adding all your responses is to switch over here and let me show you how you can actually use this with the Divi Builder plugin. So if you have a Divi account, all you have to do is to go to your Elegant Themes, log into elegantthemes.com, log into your account, and then once you've logged in, you can actually go in and download the Divi Builder plugin. Now the plugin can be installed just by adding it as a normal plugin. So if I come over here to plugins, you notice that we have the Divi Builder plugin here. Okay, fantastic. So now, if we take a look at this site, let me just show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm just opening a new tab here. So this is the bare bones WordPress install, WordPress 5. Okay, this is what it looks like. But what we're going to do now is to actually add some Divi elements in here. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here. So let's go to the posts. And by the way, this works in posts and also in pages. So anywhere that you can add the builder, you can actually go in and add the builder. So what I'm going to do now, because in the previous example, we used a post. So let's use a page for this. So I'm going to come over here, click on add new. And let's call this test. Okay, this is the test page. And then over here now, you notice that we also have this this dialog box where we can choose the default editor or we can use the Divi Builder. So this is really cool because right now we can just go straight into the builder, right? Like that. So this time I'm going to do something a bit different. So I'm going to choose a pre-made layout this time. So I'm going to come over here, choose pre-made layout. Okay, so the layout I'm going to go with is, let's go with the farmer's market. Okay, so I'm going to click on use this layout. Okay, right now it's just loading all the images and the layout itself. And it looks like it's done now. There we go. Right, so we now have our layout added into the builder. So I'm just going to publish this, and then we're going to quickly take a look and see what this looks like. Okay. So I'm going to open this in a new tab. fact, I'm going to save this. All right, so this is what it looks like. But we can also go in and do a few customizations. So let's go back into this page. I'm going to click here on Edit Page. So over here we have default template. We can actually come over here and choose full width template. So if I choose full width template now and click on Update. Okay, so it's going to take a moment to update. Okay, now let's do a quick preview. You notice now that our layout is much, much better now. There we go. So you can imagine the possibilities here. So let's say someone has a just pure Gutenberg WordPress website, and they want to have, you know, designs inside of their WordPress install. This is what you can do. You can load pre-made layouts in there. You can design layouts from scratch. You can do quite a lot here, as you can see with this. So you can go in, change the fonts, change the colors, add animation, pretty much everything that you can do with the Divi Builder, you can actually do here inside of Gutenberg. So there's two ways to use this. You can use it with the normal Divi, right? Divi install. You download the template, you install the template, and you can just use choose to use the Gutenberg editor. And then inside of that Gutenberg editor, you can actually use the Divi Layout Block. And the other option is, if you want to use a pure WordPress 5 template, theme, you can use that and also use the Divi Builder plugin and use it that way. So there are quite a lot of possibilities here. In fact, I can see some comments coming through here. Apple says, is it possible to have a tutorial in German language? I'm sure it's possible, but to be honest, I don't speak German, so I don't see why that shouldn't be possible. I'm pretty sure this can be done as well. But maybe there's some of you that may know more about this. Please add your comments in the comments box. Ghana says, I guess I'll always be using the Divi and not Gutenberg. Divi got it all. Why mix it up? Ghana, that's a very good comment right there, because to be honest, yesterday and the day before, when I was playing around with this feature, I was saying to myself, why would I need to use the Gutenberg theme, the WordPress theme, if I have Divi already? Because Divi has everything. It has the header design thing. It has the footer. You can design all your footers. You can design your headers. You can design your pages. So why do you need to use the Gutenberg or the default WordPress theme? And I realized that there are some people out there, basically they actually prefer to use the basic standard WordPress theme. But this is meant for those that want to use both of them in their website. So if you already use Divi, to be honest, there's no need to go and use the Gutenberg blocks or the Gutenberg editor, because it's very limited. To be honest, it's actually very, very frustrating to use. If I were to go in here, I can show you something very quickly here, just how unlimited it is. So let me just show you quickly here. So let's say I go here in the page, and in fact, let's open a new page so I can show you what the Gutenberg blocks, how the Gutenberg blocks work. So I'm going to add a new post here. So let's work with the post this time. Okay, let's call this new post. Okay, default editor. So this is the default editor. Notice that when I mouse over here, it also has this Divi logo here, which means you can add a Divi layout in there. But let's add a block. Let's add something we're familiar with. So let's say I want to add a paragraph in Gutenberg. Okay, so I'm going to copy some text here and paste it. Right, so that's my text. But notice that when I go in here, all I have to work with is font size. So I have small, regular, large, larger, and custom. All right. That's all I have to work with. And then over here, I have the color settings. Okay. So we can also go here, custom color. So you can play around with the color here. In fact, that's for the background. Oh yeah, background color. Text color. Okay, so you can switch it like that. And then on the sizes here, that's larger. Okay, custom. I think I can add a custom size here. So let's say 18. Now, let's say I want to clear that. Add my color back in there. So notice one thing. Let's say I want to change my font. Do you notice that there isn't an option here for me to change my fonts? All there is just the colors. And then on the advanced, I can just add additional CSS. Right? And also, if I add my background color here, I can't add rounded corners. I can't do much really with this. So this is where now, if you were using, say, the Divi Layout Block, if I do the same thing, build new layout, build from scratch, single column. Okay, let's add a text module in here. Right, I want you to notice, the amount of flexibility that we have with this. So first of all, if I want to change the font, I can just come over here to text, choose my font. I can play around with my text sizes here. I've got letter spacing, I've got line height. I can even align this if I wanted to. There's text color. So there's so much that I can do here. If I want to add a background to this, I can always come over here, add my background like that. I can add rounded corners to my to this background by coming over here to border, just like that. I can also come over here to spacing, give this a bit of padding. Now, do you see that? All these things that I'm doing here, you can't really do with the Gutenberg block. Again, let's say I want to change my text color here. Okay, so let's say I'm done here. I'm going to save this. There we go. So now you can see here that there's very little flexibility here in terms of customizing this than what we have here with the Divi Layout Block. So yes, I agree. There isn't need, if you're a Divi user, to, it's like taking 10 steps back. There's no need to actually go back and start using, strip out your Divi websites and start using Gutenberg. But for those of you that use Gutenberg and really like Gutenberg for whatever reason, you can actually use the Divi builder, the Divi Layout Block inside of your Gutenberg editor or your Gutenberg website. All right, so if you're just joining us, this is the Divi Feature Update Live. This is a show where we talk about the latest features, discuss them, debate, whatever it is, and pretty much just show you how these features actually can be used and how they can be applied in your designs. Right, I'm just going to take a quick look here. Jim says, is there any benefit of using the Gutenberg over the Divi Builder? No, really, there isn't a benefit. To be honest, you're actually limited. If you use the Gutenberg editor, you're actually limited. The blocks, you can't really do much, to be honest. So I would go with Divi all the way. I know it's may sound very biased, but yes, it's very limited. Even in this quick demo that I've just shown you, you can't really do much, even with the basic text block. Over here, we can add animations, we can do hover effects. There's just a ton of stuff you can do with Divi. All right. Feroz just joined us. Good morning, Feroz. Good to see you. Right, let's have a look here. Right, I'm just going to take a quick look here on. Jen says, how is life at Divi 2020? To be honest, life is good because I had taken a long break last year. I was away for about a month. So I took a long break. So 2020 is treating me very, very good. And it's always good again to come back and see all these updates, because to be honest, I was away from Divi for for over a month, which is quite weird. I was getting withdrawal symptoms from not using Divi for a month, but yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. Thanks for asking, gents. Let's have a look here. Edward says, possible to work with global settings like fonts, breadcrumbs, etc. I think you can still use global settings. Let me just go back in here and take a look. So I'm just going to switch here and see if we have global settings. Oh, you know what? This is something I need to mention. So let's say you've actually added your module in here, your Divi module. If you want to edit it, yesterday I was pressing this D, thinking, okay, how do I get this? How do I get this to work? But I worked it out. Actually, what you need to do is to click on this pencil icon, okay? That's what takes you into the layout. So let's see if we can do global settings. I'm gonna click here on existing. Let's go into settings, and yes, we have the global feature. So if you set this as a global item, every time you add a text module, this will be updated across the whole website. So yes, global settings actually work. And what was the other thing? Right. Right, yes, so this feature actually works. So pretty much I think everything works here, but one thing that won't work, and let's try it out while I'm on live. In fact, I'm putting myself on the spot right here. This has become something that I mostly do now. So I want to see if we have access to other features. So I'm just going to discard and exit. So over here, we have the theme builder as well. So I'm going to click on leave. I'm curious to see how the theme builder works here with this Gutenberg website. With this WordPress website. So let's try and add something here. Okay, global header. Oh, this is going to be very, very interesting. So let's add, let's say, an image here. Okay, let's use this as our logo. Save that. I'm just going to do this quickly. Add my menu in here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to save that. So the next thing I want to do here is to just remove padding. Okay. All right, so let's say that's our header. Let's save this. I'm curious to see if this header is going to show on our WordPress website. So I'm going to close this, save changes. Now, the moment of truth. Looks like it works, but hang on. Let's try one more thing. Let's give this a color so we can see for sure if this is working okay. So let's come over here. Let's give this a background color. And you know what? This has never been done before. Save that. Let's remove the color from this. Delete that. Okay, I know it's looking ugly. Just bear with me. All right, so I want to get rid of that. Save changes. Let's refresh. Wow, that is amazing. All right, so we've just discovered something very interesting here. You can actually use the theme builder in your Gutenberg WordPress website. Isn't that awesome? So this is really, really cool. So you can actually design your headers and footers with your Divi Builder plugin. So this is quite powerful. So you can have pretty much your whole website working with the Gutenberg editor, if that's what you prefer. But if you want to build your headers and footers, because as you can see with your WordPress Gutenberg WordPress 5.0 theme, you can't really go in and work on your headers or your footers. So the template has a lot of limitations. So if you're using the Divi Builder plugin and you're working, let's say, with a client that swears on Gutenberg, you can actually, improve their headers and footers using the Divi Builder theme. See? Cool. Right. Let's take a look here. Trevor says Divi rocks better than the others I've paid for. It's just all in one candy shop for designers. I agree with you. There's a lot that we can do with Divi. Right. Let's take a look here. Jared, good to see you. And Jared is from South Africa. Awesome. Right. Let's see. Hamadi says, how do I change the font in Gutenberg while editing? I think I've just shown you that in Gutenberg, you can't actually change the font. I demonstrated that a few moments ago. It's quite difficult to go in and change fonts in the Gutenberg editor. Right. The Sticks says, good morning from Jamaica. Good morning. Let's have a look here. Okay, so I think pretty much we've covered most of the things that you need to know about the Divi Layout Block. There's also other things that you can do, and these are, you can actually save items into your library. You can import your library items, export them. So you can just use this as you would with Divi. But the main change here is if you're using Gutenberg and you prefer using the Gutenberg editor, and you pretty much swear by using the your other theme or your own theme, you can now use Divi inside your editor. So Divi can also be a part of your Gutenberg experience. So this is what this update is about. All right, so let's take a look here. Agante says, I'm so glad that I've made the decision to use Divi. Oh, yes. I mean, this is, when it comes to web design, this is the best choice, definitely, that you've made. There's a lot that you could do with the Divi theme and also the Divi Builder plugin. And as you can see, we are going to continue adding all these awesome looking features, to help you design awesome looking websites. All right, guys, I think pretty much we've covered the Divi Layout Block. Go ahead, give it a try. And just as a quick reminder, if you want this to work for you, you have to be running the latest Divi install, and it's Divi 4.1. So make sure you download that. If you don't, this feature will not appear in your design. So just want to make sure there's no more questions here. Benny says, I've converted from Divi to Elementor and now back on Divi. Awesome. I mean, thanks for sharing that with us. I'm sure you've found a lot of benefits with Divi in terms of its layout, how it's used, how you can use it and so on. But yes, it's great. It's great to know that. And I would like to say, welcome back. Welcome back, Benny. All right, guys. Pretty much this is all I have for you today. Hopefully in the next week or the week after, we're going to have another feature. And as you know, I don't know what features will be coming out. So I wish I could tell you that. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me on this Monday morning. So again, keep using Divi, keep designing awesome looking websites. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments box below, and I'll do my best to respond to them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Take care.